What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Today I'm very excited to do my full review of the Sitivien ST122. This one here has a 3.5 inch D2 steel blade, 4.57 inch G10 handles, overall length 8.07 inches, and its claimed weight is 3.95 ounces. Let's go ahead and check that out really quick. Going to go ahead and bring the scale on out here, and let's see. Claim, whoop, I can't see it in the camera anyway. You can't. So 3.9. So 3.95 is the claim. 3.9 is what the scale is saying. So we're going to say that is dead on. Let's go ahead and run through some quick comparison knives. First up, the Spyderco Yojimbo 2. This one here is the DLT trading exclusive, done in 20 CV, and my Spyderco Shaman. This one here has the fat carbon dark matter scales made by Carbodize in a skinny nature. So you can see this one here is really close to the size of the Yojimbo 2 in my opinion. It is over 8 inches, but when you look at the length and how it's carrying, very similar. I feel like the Shaman's just a touch bigger overall. I feel like it has more length to it, as you can see out on the tip, and very similar handle length. Let's go ahead and put these two away and bring out my crossbar lock knives that I like to use for these comparisons. First up, the Benchmade Bug Out. This one here is the standard S30V variant and the SIG K320 made by Hogue. You can see it is more closer in size to the Hogue than it is the Bug Out. This one being over 8 inches is just going to be longer than the Bug Out, but it has a very, I would say, probably not a very similar profile, but you could just tell overall it is much bigger. Let's go ahead and bring out some budget knives for the comparison, and then we'll talk about this knife. First up, the QB KU321. This one here, also known as the QB Royal, is an under 3 inch knife. The QB KU331, which is a 3.25 inch knife. This Sitivien is actually bigger than both of these knives. One thing that I do like about this one here, a little bit different than the 102 that I gave away in March. This one here has a completely different profile to it. The liners are inset, whereas on the ST102 it was G10 riding on liners. So this actually feels thinner in hand. And I say that because when you look at it compared to the Yojimbo 2, they're identical in carry profile. So that's a really nice change that they made here for the 122. Flipper tab on this one, a little bit different. It's a smoother flipper tab, but this one I like because it's actually a light switch, so it operates really well. They did lighten up the detent on this one as well, so I think if you really tried, you could fail it. But again, because it is a flipper tab only, as long as you're doing your light switch correctly, it's going to come out really, really nicely. Being that it is the liner style, or the inset liner style, the liner lock is a little bit, the lock bar for the liner lock is a little bit thinner, but it also locks up a little bit better, coming at almost 50%. I would probably call that 40% lockup, and they did do a really good job knocking down so that you can get to that lock bar. Action's really good. It's definitely on bearings. Fantastic action. It's nice and smooth. A couple of shakes and it'll get it shut, no problem. Or if you want to just give it one little medium-sized shake, it is going to close. I think as this one operates more and more, it's going to break in nicely. This one they did give a little bit of a pivot collar, so that does give to the aesthetics, and they did do more ribbing on this than they had on the 102. So the 122 actually feels like it's closer to a Spyderco without feeling quite so aggressive. They kept what in my opinion is one of the better styles pocket clips, which is reversible and it is inset. I like this because it lays flat, still catches the pocket really well with the ramped up bill here, and clears those screws really well, so it goes really well in hand. They did add a little bit of texturing to the G10 back here, but it sits so flush that I think only if you're gripping, trying to do some push cuts would you really feel that. So aesthetically it looks good. You can see the fibers to let you know that that is a G10 handle, and this just feels really light. I know it's the same weight as the 102, but the 122 for some reason feels lighter. Doesn't make sense to me, and it has been a little while since I handled the 102, but this just feels lighter. Now, what I did want to talk about while I'm doing the review is I'm actually going to continue over what I did in March. Instead of tying it to a certain milestone, this is going to be my April giveaway knife. So I did open it, I did cut some paper, I did take it through a package to break down a small knife box just to see how it felt, but I didn't want to put too much work on this edge because I want it to go pretty much brand new to a lucky subscriber as a prize. So this is going to be, there we go. This is going to be my April giveaway knife. So what this means is this is your video. If you're tuning in for the review of this video, this is going to be the one where you're going to want to leave a comment. If you leave your comment in this video, when I go at the end of April to subscribe the winner, I'm going to be using the link from this video to go down into the comments and pick out the winner. So keep that in mind. Turn on your notifications to all so you get alerts. And this one is going to be given away to a lucky winner in April. So back to the knife. I really do like the grind on this. It has a long flat grind, so this is going to move through cutting surfaces really, really well. Has a very nice silky finish to it, so it's not going to drag any. It's just going to slice through anything that you're putting this into. D2 at this price point, again, I'm going to say it again, Sitivien is killing it. Under $30 for D2 with G10 handles, a couple of color options, giving you a little pivot collar action there. They have inset the liner on this really well, really good weight, fantastic pocket clip, and it is reversible. This is excellent value. I don't know if the prices will ever go up. Even if it goes up a little, they're still going to be competing against like GAW, who is another knife maker that I like. They do good work, but to me, I can't justify paying more for the same materials and an extremely well done build quality. I have flipped this like 30 or 40 times to get a sense for it, and it has remained centered. The edge is done really, really well. Doesn't look like there's anything going on with the tip funny. It looks like the grind has and the edge has hit the tip really well. It's really hard to get the camera to want to focus on the tip. It wants to focus on everything but. Let's see, there we go. Maybe, I don't know. I'll try to zoom in so that you can see that. Don't mind the branding. Like I said, for this price point, I'm not going to complain about that branding. They did take away the model number, and they just left the D2 on this side. I think that's a nice touch-up. And again, it does feel thinner because it has the flat scales, no contouring, and it's not sitting on liners like the QSP. So the inset liner just gives it a little bit more of a premium feel, which is impressive. It has a captive pivot, so you don't have to worry about the screw on the side. That's a really nice value at this point. All these screws are I think the pivot's T8 and it was T6 for these screws, if I remember right. As long as you have a good set of quality bits and the fact that they don't have shallow screw heads on them, you should be okay. Excellent knife. I can't say enough good things about this knife. I really do think that this is a brand that is really going to get on people's radars quickly, especially if you want a beater or a budget, or if you don't want to spend over $50 for a pocket knife that has good steel, good materials, good action, operates very well. This is just hard to beat. This is a really good knife. To give you a point of reference, and I wish I'd have done this with the video for the 102 last month, you can pick up a Spyderco Tenacious, which still has 8 CR MOV steel on it, for over $50, or you can get this with D2, which is the superior steel over 8 CR. It doesn't have good edge retention. It's not as tough or as strong as D2 for $30. And this has bearings, which can be argued that the phosphor bronze washers on the Tenacious are going to be built for dirty work environments more so than this. But if you're not, again, opening bags of mulch, or you're not opening roofing tile bags, or anything that is going to have like grittiness to it that's going to get on your blade, this is going to do well. This is going to hold an edge really well, and it is a It has good edge retention, and it is a tough steel, but it is not as hard and strong as something like a 14C or a Nitro V, or any of the premium steels that you'll find on knives that are up closer to $100, like 154 cm, Nitro V, S30V. Those are going to be tougher steels, but this is going to have really good performing edge retention. So as long as you're not beating on this and you're not prying with this, this is going to do really well, especially for a $30 knife. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. Again, subscribe and turn on those notifications if you want a chance at winning this one in April. I hope you all have a fantastic week. Thank you all for the support. Until next time, peace.